Today is December 10th, and that means it's day 10 of Vlogmas. My name is Linda, and you can find me all over as Linda Grace, and this is the Joey's Scarf podcast, which is a knitting, crocheting, and yarn podcast, and I am doing the 24 days of Vlogmas. And as I said, today is day 10. It's going to be a very pretty day today. It's going to be blue skies, the sun is shining, a little chill in the air, but it's supposed to get up in the 40s, I think, which is good. I was just outside, so the cup feels good. This is tea that I'm drinking, and it's the lemon lavender tea. And I'm coming to you from Barnegat, New Jersey, which is along the Jersey Shore. So maybe Ross and I will venture out. Really been hesitating to go to too many places because of the COVID thing. But I don't know, maybe we will take a little ride today somewhere. One of the episodes, previous episodes of Vlogmas, I talked about briefly about a little family history mystery. And this picture here is the town where my grandparents lived before they came to America. And the name of the town is, let's see if I can get this right, Casa Nueva de Ganza, and I'll put it across the bottom. And it's up in the hills, and I'll put the location across the bottom because I'm not quite sure how to describe where they are, where the town was. But we visited, that's how we got to take this picture, a few years ago. My sister and my brother-in-law and Ross and I visited. My brother-in-law is originally from Italy, and which is nice to travel with him because he speaks the language. And he and my sister own a home in Italy, and they usually are there half the time there, half the time here, but they have not been able to go back this year because of the COVID. Anyway, when we visited the town, we specifically were looking for one of, I think, the last remaining relatives who live over there of my grandmother, and it was her niece, her sister's daughter, who was quite elderly at the time. And we found her, and she was a little... she was very hesitant about letting anyone in her house, and she thinks she was having a little difficulty with aging. But thanks to my brother-in-law, who speaks the language, he was able to explain to her who we were, and she understood, and she knew her cousins, my aunts, and she invited us into her home. And it was this tiny little apartment, and she made us coffee, a little instant coffee, and it was a nice visit. She showed us something very poignant, though. She insisted we come into her bedroom, and she had this hanging on her door in a plastic bag was a white dress, a gown, actually. And it looked like maybe she had made it herself. A long white gown, it was like a wedding gown almost. And she explained to us that she had never been married, and so she was still, how do I say this? I'm not sure how she explained it, but she was still able to wear a white dress, let's put it that way. But she was saving the dress to be buried in when she passed away, because she was still an unmarried woman. And that was very, very poignant. And we've lost touch. I think she probably, I think she had eventually been moved into a care facility. She could no longer care for herself. But it was a very unique experience to meet my grandmother's niece. It was very, very interesting. I caught a little bit of, I'm sure everyone knows of Arnie and Carlos, and they are doing the Christmas Ball Advent. So they've released 24 Christmas ball patterns, and they have a little tutorial on how to make them. It's the red and white. I don't know if it's typical Norwegian, or I think possibly. But I remembered, or I came across, I think last year, I bought their book. And it's really a beautiful book with all the patterns in it. I have a feeling that the pattern that they released for the 24 days of Christmas are probably new patterns. But I thought I might make an attempt at one of these today. We'll see. That's what I might be doing today. And if I like this one. If I do okay, I might purchase the group of patterns. Yeah, went over to visit the geese this morning, but there were no geese, and the pond is pretty frozen. That's it for this morning. All right, so I will catch up with you later. It's the end of day 10, and today we did go to LL Bean. So we are on our way to Freehold Mall to LL Bean and to search for some snow boots for Ross, because it's supposed to snow on Wednesday. Ross tried on some snow boots and couldn't decide which ones he wanted, so we got both of them. And it's a long drive to get there. It took us almost an hour to get to LL Bean and an hour to get back. So most of the day was gone doing that. I did attempt to make one of these Christmas ornaments, and I watched the video of Arnie and Carlos showing how to do them, and I thought, well, that sounds easy. And they said, it's easy and you'll love doing it. This is a pretty one. Well, I didn't find it so easy. And this is the mess I wound up with. What I had difficulty with was you're starting the ball with 12 stitches. Now they do theirs with double pointed needles, 4 double pointed needles. So each needle has the motif on it. So there would be a 4 repeat. which is fine. And the one I chose was Christmas. Well, first of all, I didn't do it. I decided to get their Advent. I decided to get the Advent, their pattern. It was $8. So I was going to do the Christmas tree one because that seemed like the simplest one. And what I had difficulty with was you start off with 12 and then you increase and then decrease. But, which is fine, I don't have a problem doing that. But some of the increases, the color work has color work changes. I can't explain it, but like, I don't know, say for instance this one. As you're increasing the stitches, you increase here, here, and here, but you have to I shouldn't be showing the pattern. You have to remember which color you're using. So if you're increasing one stitch, one of the stitches could be green and the increase could be white. I just found it really confusing. So I'm going to look to see if there may be a different pattern. I don't know if they're all going to be that way, but maybe not the motif on all 4 sides, maybe just on 2 sides would be easier. So, so that was my frustration. I'm pretty stubborn though. I probably am not going to give up. And my computer's working now. Again, all of a sudden it just started working, which is good news. So that's what we did today. And not much else going on, I don't think. The usual end of day pictures. I miss the sunset, so it's just the pond. One of the things about taking a picture of a spot, the same spot every day, is it may not look like there's change, but there's always something different. Always something different. The water may be a different level. It just, you may see something like today the pumpkins were gone. So that's what I think is neat. Other than that, I guess this is going to be another short episode with not too much going on. Maybe tomorrow will be a more exciting day. Ta-ta. Happy Vlogmas. One of the things I forgot to mention is that tonight is the first night of Hanukkah, and we have quite a collection of menorahs. Happy Hanukkah.